The evening had been filled with laughter and camaraderie as I bid farewell to my friends at the cozy cafe. The warmth of their company and the aroma of freshly brewed coffee lingered in my mind. But now, as I sat behind the wheel of my car, the night was dark and the winding road through the ominous forest lay ahead. The dense forest surrounding the road seemed to swallow any hint of civilization. And then, as if from a nightmare, I spotted her, a small shivering girl standing alone on the roadside. Her tear-stained face, barely visible in the dim light, was filled with fear. She extended a trembling hand toward me, her eyes begging for help. I couldn't leave her stranded in the middle of nowhere, so I pulled over and approached her. The child, a little girl, seemed to be frightened and ran into the nearby woods as if she had seen a ghost. Without a second thought, I followed her into the woods. The night was cold, and the child was dressed inappropriately for the weather. It was evident that she needed help desperately. I ventured deeper into the dark forest, following the faint silhouette of the girl. However, I couldn't catch up with her, no matter how fast I walked. It was as if we were running in circles, surrounded by identical trees. The temperature dropped abruptly, and an eerie mist crept in, shrouding everything in obscurity. Amidst the profound darkness and the soft rustling of leaves underfoot, I began to hear a haunting children's song. Fear began to creep over me, and the melody grew louder, reverberating through the woods. The fog concealed everything, making it impossible to see the child. Panic welled up inside me, and I longed to return to the warmth of my car and head home. I retraced my steps, and the voice and melody seemed to chase after me. When I looked back, I saw nothing but the thickening mist. Finally, I reached my car, locked the doors, and was relieved when the engine roared to life. I sped away, my heart pounding. The journey home felt like an eternity, but I eventually made it, safe and sound. Back at home, I tried to rationalize the experience, convincing myself it had been a vivid nightmare. As I sipped a cup of tea, I wrapped myself in the comforting embrace of my logic and drifted off to sleep. In the dead of night, a sound pierced the silence, similar to the rustling of birds on the window. However, it felt different, and a sense of unease washed over me. I half opened my eyes and saw a shadowy figure in the dark corner of the room. The indistinct form seemed almost human, but it was entirely cloaked in darkness. My mind raced, and my heart pounded as I recognized that this could not be a human presence. The figure began to sing, its voice thin and melodic, but the words of the lullaby dissolved into the darkness, leaving only the haunting melody. I realized it was the spirit of the little girl I had seen on the road, returning to me every new moon. I had no idea how to soothe her restless soul. With each note of her song, my fear intensified, and I felt utterly helpless before this supernatural force. New moon after new moon, the haunting continued, and the lullaby prevented me from finding solace in sleep. I was drawn into a world of nightmares and fear, living in the shadows with no way to break free from the curse that I had unwittingly brought upon myself.